Now that music means it's time for the cars we drive. You know, Lexus is the luxury wing of Toyota. For years, the company's slogan was the relentless pursuit of perfection.
And when our George Mallet drove the Lexus LC500, he came away believing the car is pretty close to perfect. George joins us now in studio to look at this performance automobile, you're calling it, right, George?
Yeah, and Josh, Lauren, I've had the opportunity to drive some mind-blowing sports cars over the years, everything from Ferraris to Corvettes. I don't think I've driven anything more thrilling or more beautiful than the Lexus LC500. It is a car that is the direct result of Toyota's ongoing desire to prove they can build world-class race cars. The Lexus LC500 is nothing short of ravishing. When this gearhead hopped behind the wheel, it was the immediate realization of every molten dream I've ever had.
I would have to say this is my favorite car you've brought so far.
That's Rick Ferrara of Rick's Auton Road 66, who's laid eyes on nearly every performance car to come down the pike. He immediately locked in on what's under the hood of this dynamic roadster.
This is one of their performance engines. It's got two turbochargers, twin turbocharged engine. So I imagine this thing's very fast, lots of pickup.
Rick knows what he's talking about. The V8 turbocharged engine produces 471 horses, allowing an enthusiastic driver to accelerate from 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. Look good doing it.
We've taken cars to the Studebaker National Museum before, but when I got behind the wheel of this baby, I immediately thought, this car has the spirit of Raymond Loewy and the Avanti.
When I parked the car in front of the museum for archivist Andy Beckman to assess, he saw what I saw.
Seeing this here, one of the design elements both cars share is the Coke bottle, the kind of flared flanks on the side that really give the car hips around the rear wheels, and that was really one of Avanti's iconic designs. If you looked at it in plan view, you really saw it tapered in at the doors, much like the Lexus does here behind us.
The Lexus LC500 comes from Toyota Motor Corporation and its race car-loving management's desire to build a truly spectacular sports car. Automotive journalist George Polgar.
There's this real urgency in the management to not just be a vanilla car company, not just be, you know, the average sedan or the average SUV car company. And this car really, you know, proves it in the most exemplary kind of ways.
The showpiece convertible roadster of the world's top-ranked global automaker is priced beginning at $107,800. Okay, that price is likely going to increase. The LC500 is built entirely in Japan, so tariffs are obviously going to be a factor going forward.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I have to ask you what I asked you last week. Does the Lexus now have a manual transmission, you know?
It does not. And George Polgar, you just heard from, put it this way, because I asked him, I said, can we get this thing with a stick? And he said, George, you do not want to take your hands off the wheel when you're going 150. Oh. So,
that's great.
Good point.
Point well made. Yeah.
Point made.
What else did our friends at the Studebaker Museum like about this joint? This was beautiful.
Well, we went down a whole rabbit hole because Andrew and I are both fans of the designer Raymond Loewy. My old man worked for Raymond Loewy during the days of the Avanti. And so we saw a lot of similarities between the two cars. But of course, the Avanti, that was made when guys had to like bang it into that shape. I mean, the Lexus we're looking at here is laser designed and laser manufactured.
I tell you what, it's a showstopper. We saw you pull into work with it.
Yeah.
It's a beaut.
You are laser designed, I tell you that.
It's hard to look bad in a Lexus LC500.
The hair didn't move an inch, baby. We're going to see George with Caroline coming up at 5 o'clock. Hey, Andrew.
Thank you.
Great.